Well, my name's Horatio, and we're at the Screen community. We've recently just been doing this cultural film observations, and this week is just based on Jamaica, and we're studying, and was watching a film called How Did They Come, and after watching it, it's starting to become my favorite one. And just
Oh,
once,
all right. Okay.
yeah,
Nice, nice.
it's generally a great watch, and for the time, it was like for how little they had, they did the best they could with it. And just wanted to try and
Mm.
ask a couple of questions based on that as well, on that film.
Yeah, sure. I'll also, as best as I can. I mean, I haven't seen the film for many, many years, but when I was asked my favorite film, um, it may not be my favorite film, but it's a film that meant so much to me because it was the first time, growing up as part of the first Black British born in this country en masse, and everything we went through, the open racism, being told go back where you come from, and people telling us we're Jamaicans, and the Jamaicans telling us, oh no, you're my English cousin. So not having a home, but still having a strong connection with the Jamaican culture, even though none of us had been over there at that. Well, a lot of us hadn't been over there at that time. It was the first time we ever seen anything Jamaican on a big screen as part of something.
Absolutely, especially for, as you mentioned, there's plenty of Jamaicans. They were born in England who never went to Jamaica, so they never experienced the culture and the lifestyle of how they would live. And finally seeing on the big screen, it was, as you mentioned, a huge, big deal, especially because it's getting the correct and respect they deserve. It's showing, especially when it showed the villages and the community in within that film. It's small, but it's also like tight packed as well as lively. There's a community is thriving in that area, even though they're not really living as much as we would here in the UK. They were still enjoying life. They're just still enjoying the best they can over there, especially with their dreams. They're dreaming big, especially with the main character, Ivan, who came to that particular part of Jamaica, not only just to go to his mum, just to tell her the nan died, who obviously was heartbreaking, but he came to sell his record. He dreamed big, and seeing how his dream starts to become unrealistic in that sense. I mean, he was able to get the record, but it wasn't what he was expecting, because he was paid $20 of it, and that wasn't much. That wasn't much back in the day. And then he had to get famous another way, which was Life of Crime. So how do Jamaican British filmmakers have probably changed and improved throughout the years of filming here?
It's good that we're talking about Jamaica rather than just Black filmmakers and Black this and it. It's good because um, for a small island, Jamaica, that has and still is so much integrated into British society, the culture, language. I hear you young ones saying words that we used to say when I was young. And I mean, the youth culture in the UK. Um, so I see young people from different backgrounds themselves and cultures themselves. Um, using Jamaican words and a big Jamaican influence. in the culture.
Yeah.
But as somebody who's been in broadcasting for 37 years now, um, uh, we still have not got the recognition and respect we deserve um, for such a influence on society. It's still anything to do with Jamaica. Um, I have to see commissioning editors, who commission programs, and from doing anything that's got Jamaican, I see a lot. I see alarm bells, alarm bells, Jamaican.
Oh gosh.
Unfortunately, I still see that today, and I suppose we got Jamaicans doing great, British Jamaicans doing great work, doing great jobs. But it is a fight. It's still a fight to get that recognition and to get those moments of recognition. That should be many more, but they're not, and that's the truth of it.
It must be really stressful to just try and represent Jamaican British as a whole, but unfortunately, as soon as you hear Jamaica, it's pushed to one side.
It's disappointing, definitely. But from being born in being part of that big mass of black British babies being born here, um, you from a very early age, you're dealing with stuff. So you just go through life, innit? You're just anyone really, if the ethnic minority background, um, or if you're in a minority of any kind, even if you're a woman in a male-dominated workplace, and you're that minority, you just go through things and you get resilience, and you can back away in the corner, or you can fight. And doing Mama Youth Project, the charity I started, is a tool that's used to try to make change, because we are um, TV professionals and filmmakers. Um, we have an influence on society, but we must get that authenticity is very important. Otherwise, the stories, the portrayal of especially Jamaicans, I mean, we're just portrayed in such a bad way.
Yeah.
All the time. It's still why people are scared of you when you're walking down the street. And I'm a nice guy. Don't be scared of me.
It's very bad stereotypes because it's always the typical. If you think Jamaica, you think huge dreadlocks, the ganja on your head.
And just
Trust me, I've been in places. I've been in Eastbourne in the UK, and a guy crosses the road to come and ask me if I'm selling drugs. He wanted to buy some. I've been in Spain, Spain, and somebody across the road to come over to me to look if I'm selling drugs. The portrayal is and one of my beefs at the moment is when it comes to when people say, oh, there's not enough, especially black male role models out there. I'm meeting them all the time. Remember Youth Project, I'm meeting them all the time. But unfortunately, it seems like my industry um don't really want to portray all the ones doing positive stuff. It doesn't fit the narrative, it seems. So, we have a fight, and I'm there for that fight. I'll tell you right now, my main motivation that motivates me and drives me is uh, as a somebody born in 1958. I'm 65 years of age now, and I still hear stories that from happened to me, happening to younger people and stuff like that. My drive is that I don't want to go to my grave hearing the same things from when I was born into this world. That would be so sad. I had a vision of me lying on my deathbed. I'm lying there, my deathbed, about to take my last breaths, and people are talking. And I listen, I go, what happened? And they tell me, and I go, it scares the living daylights out of me. I can't let that happen. And being in the position I'm in, I have the chance through media to actually try and make sure that doesn't happen.
I completely understand, because if you want to film your cultural stuff, there's always limitations to what you have to show to the public, and sometimes the people in charge is like, yeah, we don't really want to have that type of stuff, particularly here. So they try to push that out for like the norm stuff, but stuff like this, stuff like cultural showing is important. It should be the norm, because as the UK, we have so much cultural, I say it, importance around it. Like not all people come from the same areas, so having each person or each family experience their culture, which could be different from another person's culture, all come together, is like, don't block it.
Yeah, I'm glad you used the word the norm, because actually, when you say it should be the norm, it is the norm. It's just those gatekeepers and everything else in our industry think, oh, it's not the norm, or it's niche. When really, when you think about it, see, for the shows I've had on British television, um, they've been on mainstream channels, and from the very beginning, um, I said, I'm not putting it, oh, because there's a lot of color, so go to that station, or music, go to that station. Um, it was important for me for my programs to be on a mainstream channel, because where people would say it's niche. I mean, to be honest, when the TV executive said to me about niche, I'll be like, every time you call my show niche, you're calling me niche. As far as I'm concerned, I go to the same supermarket as you. I use the same public transport as you. I walk on the same streets as you. So unless you want me and all other niches to go to Niche Island, where we can live happily ever after, and that's when they go red. And really, because what is mainstream? Mainstream is full of many niches. It's just the niches they put on mainstream tend to be niches that they understand, and this and that. And in short, the way I put it, what you said, is what they want. They like high five. High five, Bob. Give me a high five. Low five, Bob. But they don't mind high fives if you say, Wagwan. Oh no, Bob. Could we go back to the high fives? We understand that. Oh, Wagwan is a bit too much. So until they start saying Wagwan, it's not going to change. But we're pushing.
I mean, that's a question, because you go on to show your work on the mainstream channels. Have you ever thought about the time? So what times you should be uploading these things to these channels, since you might have your show uploaded to the main channel, but it just could be in a time frame where nobody's really watching, so it kind of automatically fails in that regard. So what if, for example, you show your content around like 5 or 6 p.m. where everyone's either still watching their shows, or like a time to relax. So has that ever come across your mind when that happened?
I guess time-wise and time slots, we haven't done too bad. Plus, I don't know if you know, we won a BAFTA in 2021. Did you know that? Um, we won for Best Entertainment Show. It's a show that I created called Life and Rhymes. And so we beat Ant and Debt Saturday Night Takeaway, Strictly Come Dancing, and The Masked Singer. And the interesting thing about that is, for afterwards, I mean, we won. It's a Sunday, the BAFTAs. We won the award, and even I'm thinking as the executive producer, oh my God, I better do my hair, and I better get myself looking smart, because they probably want to interview me on TV tomorrow and stuff like that. And Benjamin Zephaniah was the host of the show. Nothing. No one contacted us. Ant and Debts just lost that BAFTA for the first time in years. Not one. Even on the news programs, like the breakfast shows that they do the next day when they talk about the BAFTAs and who won, didn't even talk about us and about how, oh, this company, uh, Livermore Productions won the Ant and Deck and all that. Nothing. So, that just tells me a lot. All I know is I upset the industry. I do like rocking the boat, but we upset the industry. And so that says a lot about the struggle and the fight that needs to still continue.
Bob, I have a question. I just wanted you to kind of tell us about yourself and your kind of journey in the industry and things like that, if that's all right.
Okay. Well, I fell into the industry many years ago. I have no qualifications because I kind of stopped going to education when I was about 15. Um, I'm from Harlesden area. I don't know if you know that, Kensal Green, Northwest London.
Yeah.
Growing up in them times, there weren't gangs or anything like that I can remember. I can't remember any saying gangs. It was just boys who didn't like each other. In fact, the gangs were the Cray twins or Al Capone on the TV.
Yeah.
So involved in a lot of violence, I guess, which then led me to join the army to get out the area. So I was in the army. I came out of the army. I was in the army for altogether, service 14 years, and then I looked for come out of the army and thought, I made a mistake. I should have joined the engineers or something in the army that gave me a trade. I was an infantry person, and you can't take your infantry skills into civilian life. So I looked for a warehouse work. It was a warehouse video duplication place, and maybe what I'm going to say now might be good advice for some of you, is that I looked for warehouse work. It happened to be a video duplication company. I was in the warehouse for 3 months, and the boss sent me to an area with a parcel that I've never been to before. And I went in, and it was their operations area. All I know is I walked into a room, a dark room with loads of monitors, little flashing lights that looked like fairy lights, big reel-to-reel machines. And for me, it looked like Santa's grotto. And I love Christmas. And so I'm like, wow, what is this place? And the big boss happened to be passing. So I turned to him, I said, hey, can I work in here? And he stopped and he laughed because, in fact, I didn't even know what they did in there. I just thought it'd be like Christmas every day. That's why I asked, can I work in here? And then he said, you know what? We're looking for a junior. Come here in the mornings, back to the warehouse in the afternoons. And that's what I did for a period of time. And for somebody who teachers told you're not going to make anything of your lives, which society told us we're not going to make anything of our lives, I'm in there asking the question. All people kept on hearing me saying was, wait a minute. So let me get this right. The guy who used to work in here is now at the BBC earning how much? And this one's at ITV, how much? Well, I'm thinking, wow, I want to work in it now. Forget Father Christmas. I'm just looking at the money now. And so eventually they said I could work there because I've done it right if the warehouse manager would let me go. And the warehouse manager said, no, he won't let me go because I'm a good worker. I don't care what I do, I'll work hard. And so he didn't want to let me go. And so it took him a while to decide. And actually, what I'm telling you now is also the essence of the charity I started, Mama Youth Project. This is the essence and what it's all about. So it was a Friday afternoon, 4 p.m., and he said, you can go and work there. And so at 5 o'clock come, I went running out of that place. I normally got the bus home. I run past the bus stop, and I'm just running towards home. And while I was running, I swear to God that I'm hearing all the negative things that happened to me, seeing, visualizing all the things I've seen in my life, the violence, the police beatings, and everything else. I'm seeing everything. And it's explained to me later in life that what I was doing, I knew I was running into a new life and washing away that past. And so that's an important story because starting Mama Youth Project and helping people who've had challenges in their life, and so changing people's lives. I'm very fortunate because being able to do that, and we've done over 900 people now, and every time one of them gets a job, I relive my moment.
You kind of, I wouldn't say passing on the mantle, but you're kind of seeing like young people do what you did, that kind of...
Yeah, giving that same...
Entering this new world, kind of...
But I took advantage of the opportunity because for a lot of young people, an opportunity may even slap you in the face. I'm an opportunity. and you're going, what was that? And then you carry about your business, right? You've got to recognize, first of all, an opportunity. And then I'm telling you, an opportunity is like a bucking horse. You know, the bucking horse on the cowboys and like this to get you off. The better the opportunity, the more it's going to try and get you off. And you got to hold on tight and you got to earn it. And so that's what I did. And I became a BT operator. Then I got into editing, was an editor for most of my career, working all different kinds of shows, BBC, ITV, all of them. Then I started my own post-production company in Soho, production company after that, then started a charity which has a production company, Livermore Productions, and now I'm executive producing, directing, and all that.
Doing it all. Doing it all. Well, I was going to ask you a bit more about the Mama Youth project as well. Just more kind of details. What year was it you started Mama Youth?
2005.
2005.
Yeah, so
19 years ago, something.
it'd be our 20th anniversary next year.
Really? Oh, okay. And you know, the overall aim is obviously, it's, what is it? It's like kind of film production or television kind of production for young people?
It's TV. I've only ever worked in broadcasting TV. Obviously I know a bit about film, but yeah, it's been broadcasting. I mean, a career in TV, it changed my life. It put my bloodline, my future in a different perspective. So what I mean by that is, and I only realized this in recent years, what we're actually doing and how big it is. Because, you know, I can look at my sons. I've got 2 sons. I can look at them. I mean, they're bigger than me. I'll be honest, I'm a bit scared of them, but they're bigger than me, and so I can look at them. They've been brought up in an environment nothing like I was brought up in.
Yeah.
So they've not seen the kind of violence I've seen, all the things that we went through. And so I look at them and think, well, they should be all right. That means my grandchildren should be all right, and so on. And that's what I see for all the young ones that come to Mama Youth who then go on that journey. They're like pioneers to me. From their bloodline, everything in the future should be all right because of them.
Like, so if someone did want to kind of join Mama Youth or something, because I had heard about it about a year and a half ago, but I didn't apply for it because I didn't know enough about it. If you basically had to describe the kind of the course and how it would take place, how would you do that?
Okay, basically, it's I suppose it's learning on the job. I mean, Mama Youth Project has won training awards. We've won big training awards. We beat the Civil Service, Imperial College, and others for training. We won the Princess Royal Training Award. These massive training awards, right? But we're not a training organization. None of us are trainers.
So if you're not a training organization,
what it is, it's learning on the job.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, what's happened to me when I've been employed by companies. You know, a young person comes in, they say, "Oh, show them the ropes." Our training is showing the ropes. We show you the ropes so you're able to do the job as a new entrant, and then you go on from there. And that's what our training is, showing the ropes.
Yeah. So it's essentially kind of work experience and just kind of.
No, well, yeah, not even work experience. It's work. Even though it's work. We, you know, it's thousands of pounds worth of free training. The 8-week course is thousands of free training. We pay the travel and we pay food expenses. But we work you. We work you so hard that you'll be complaining. You'll be going home complaining and saying, those people at work today. and that's actually great for us, because if you're leaving us thinking like you've just left a job, now you're just looking for another job.
It's preparation for kind of like for the future in that same industry, in a way. Well,
the biggest thing that we give people that come to us is the work ethics for our industry. Our industry is tough.
Yeah.
If you got the work ethics for the industry, then whatever job you go into, you should be able to cope. And as I say, we got over 900 alumni out there doing their thing.
So I would say your methods, but you know, like obviously, I imagine you have somewhat of a good team. Are you very strict in kind of like making sure people don't mess about, making sure people get the work done. You know,
They're in a working environment.
Yeah.
They're going to be there and do the job, or we dismiss them like anybody else. We don't dismiss many people because our recruitment is so good, but we do dismiss people, and there's many TV companies and partners of ours that describe the training as a boot camp.
you gotta do it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but that's a good thing, I think. You know,
I was in the military, as I said,
man.
right?
Yeah.
I'm biased, but the British Army are the best trainers in the world.
Mm.
They're the best trainers. The techniques used to be able to get somebody to perform tasks, there's so many techniques used to get them to be able to do that confidently. So I use the same techniques as the British Army do, that I know from the British Army, to get people to achieve, you know, and especially it's like recruits cadre. When you're in recruits cadre and you're learning, you're achieving every day. Imagine achieving something every day.
definitely. Well, I was gonna obviously, it's good that obviously you're using your own kind of military tactics to, you know, encourage. We'll say encourage, but you know, you know, when it comes to the 8-week course, is it every day? Is it 1 day a week? Well, how does it work?
No, it's full time. It's full time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we work to the demands of the production. You know, you may end up doing a really long day. You know, we are a production company in production, and you just got to work.
Yeah.
And you've really got to, as I say, you forget that actually it's a course of where you're getting thousands of pounds worth of free training. But not also do we do at the end the training, and if you get through it and survive, I had to think about what happens at the end.
Yeah.
And I go back to when I was a young boy growing up in England, and there would be good-hearted people, really good, sincere-hearted people wanting to help black boys like me. And I remember the very first time when people came, the good-hearted people came, they took us somewhere nice for the day, brought us back, and then said, "Did you have a nice time?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, yeah." And do you feel more confident because you did that thing with the canoe? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And off they go. Nice sleep because they've done a good deed. But what they didn't see is us looking at each other going, wait a minute. We're still in the same cesspit from when they come and got us. And in fact, we're now even more angry. They've made things worse because we're more angry because now they've shown us a life that police, society, everyone's telling us we're never going to have. And you've gone and shown it to us. So we're more angry. So when I started Mama Youth Project, I knew I'd be giving young people a purpose, a reason to wake up in the morning for 8 weeks. What happens at the end? And I couldn't do what was done to me. Just say, did you have a nice time? So that's why it became about employment. There had to be something tangible at the end. And not only that, I employ 4 people in the department talent team to look after all our alumni to make sure that the sustainability of them working in our industry continues.
But is there certain qualifications someone would need to kind of do this? We need GCSE or?
No, not at all.
No, you can just go straight into it.
You don't even have to know anything about media.
Yeah.
The main criteria, because people say to me, Bob, you're such a nice man helping young people. And I keep telling people I'm not that nice, but nobody believes me. They don't believe me. I'm not that nice. I will only help people who are prepared to help themselves.
Yeah.
If you are 100%, this is the only qualification you need. If you are the 100% committed to yourself and you're prepared to put in the hard work to change your life, we'll work with you.
Thank you, Bob.
That was epic. Can everyone say thank you? Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks for inviting me to talk. Wishing you all the very best, all of you.
Thank you for watching me and Horatio doing the Behind the Screens podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.